What's happening, guys? Today we've got an absolutely hilarious one. I love it when non-combat sport professional athletes think that they would be able to beat a UFC fighter. I mean, I can't really list that many examples off the top of my head, but today we have a great example of this. Someone who has got no clue about how much they would get dominated in an MMA fight. So the start of this video is a guy called Chad Johnson, or Ocho Cinco. He's a former American football wide receiver. Now granted, you do have to be extremely athletic in order to be able to play American football, but as you can see, this guy is 46 years old. Now this video has resurfaced of Ocho Cinco on Shannon Sharpe's podcast, and it was just after the Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje fight, and Ocho Cinco asks Shannon Sharpe how he would fare in a fight against Max Holloway, of all people. I'm not going to do much talking on this one. I'm going to let the video speak for itself. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel or if you've been watching without being subscribed, because we upload a wide variety of fighting content every single day.
In UFC 300, Max Holloway produced one of the most shocking and one of the most violent moments in octagon history. With a mere 10 seconds on the clock, he summons Justin Gaethje. Stand in the pocket. Let's go. And they stand in the pocket. And with 1 second on the clock, Holloway catches him, face plant. Holloway.
Yeah. And you got to be careful. You got to keep your hands up.
UFC president, UFC CEO Dana White called it one of the greatest moments in the company's history. I get it. I mean, Gaethje felt he was behind. I ain't got nothing to lose. But I thought, what about strategy? I thought normally when you go to, you got strategy. When you stand in the pocket, you ain't got no strategy. Yeah. You just, whoever hits who first, who clips who.
Yeah, but I mean, it was great for the ending of the round, though. Those last few seconds. No, I mean, listen, he called him to the front. Yeah. Hey, man, let's throw them things. What you trying to do? But again, when it comes to throwing them things and engaging in the pocket like that, hey, if you letting loose, you got to keep one of them. You got to stay on the phone. You got to stay on the phone. You got to let one go and
you do it like
and
this
bring it back home.
You do it like this here. You see, ain't nobody got nothing up.
Okay, so Shannon Sharpe's already calling out Ocho Cinco. He said, listen, Ocho, you're giving Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje advice on keeping your hands up. You literally throw like this and do not keep your hands up. Now, the good thing for us is this Ocho Cinco guy actually had a boxing match a few years ago, 3 years ago it was, and it was on the undercard of the Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight. So before we go through the rest of the podcast, for context, let's take a look at Ocho Cinco's skills. So we got Ocho in the black. Now he's actually got some skills, to be fair, because he's like 44 years old here. He's in great shape, very athletic still. He's got alright head movements, good reflexes. I remember this fight, he had an alright jab. But look, he's sort about keeping his hands up. Wait, where's that left hand, Ocho?
Holy shit!
He good head movement, though.
I guess not.
Hands down. With the Floyd Mayweather Philly shell going on.
I got Chad winning every single one. Look at the
Okay.
right hand.
And to be fair, he was winning this fight up until, I think, this round, this fourth round, I think it was. By the way, the fight was declared a draw. I mean, look at that. Not the best, is it? Nice head movement.
Finish him.
And here we go. Let's just take a look at that knockdown once again. Ocho was talking about keeping the hands up. Look where his left hand is as he gets knocked down now. Right there, out in front of him. Now, to be fair, his hand wasn't too low. It's just the fact that he extended it right out in front of him instead of bringing it back to his chin to stay defensively sound. So to be fair on him, as I say, he's 44 years old. He's got some decent skills. But just wait until you hear this next part. You'll see what I mean.
The first thing that goes away when you're tired, your technique, you take all that.
Well, when you summon somebody to the pocket,
I'm not
you
even
ain't
gonna
trying
say
to go to.
no. We wouldn't call that a lucky punch, would you? Because you know his hair was down. No. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, that was nice. That was a great finish. That was a great ending. A great ending. What you think about? What you think would happen if Max Holloway had to fight me?
Man, look here. Boxers don't do well in the UFC. That's why UFC fighters have to go to the boxing ring. Ain't no boxer gonna do nothing with no guy in the UFC. It's gonna be over the amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. Historically, for the most part, it doesn't end well when boxers go to the UFC or go to MMA. Now, there has been a few exceptions in smaller MMA organizations where we've had a boxer go in and fight within MMA and then do all right or even get a knockout. But once again, that's the rarity. Boxers want to talk all this and that about how they would beat an MMA fighter, but we don't ever see the boxers come over to MMA. At least the MMA fighters are putting the money where the mouth is and going over to boxing. Takes balls.
Okay, let me ask you a question now. Let me ask you a question, because I was state wrestling champ in 82.
Did he say state wrestling champ? To sound like he said wrestling champ. I state wrestling champ.
You know, you see my hands go. I got hands. So at what point do you think Max Holloway would beat me if we were to get in the octagon? Like round 1, 2, or 3?
30 seconds.
Look at Joe's face. Shannon just don't give a crap. He's so real in this interview.
Wait, what you mean 30
He'll tap
seconds?
you out in 30.
Why you disrespecting
I'm putting
me?
all my money. I'm taking all the money I got, everything I own, and put it on Max Holloway.
So you think Max Holloway could beat me?
Beat the brakes off you and 2 more people just like you.
You know what?
He said, and 2 more people who look just like you. That's amazing. Now, Max Holloway, one of my favourite fighters, but I probably wouldn't give him 30 seconds to tap Ocho Cinco out. I'd maybe give Ocho Cinco a little bit of benefit of the doubt. If he used to wrestle, he can throw some hands. He's quite athletic. He'll last a little bit longer than that, most likely, but it'll be tough for him to get out of the first round. Most definitely.
Max Holloway, if you see this, if you have any time during your break until your next fight, please let's spar. Let's get some footage. I just want to show Uncle Sharp that I ain't with the bullshit. Please.
Ocho.
Brother Max Holloway.
Ocho.
Congratulations. But please.
Ocho. There's
what?
Every sport, there's levels.
Yeah.
And I
know
it.
he's the best of the best. I know.
Good entry level. Good entry level.
Entry.
But to go to that top
entry.
Man, yes.
Ocho Cinco fought an exhibition boxing match on a Logan Paul undercard, and it went to a draw, and that was in boxing. Now he's talking about one of the best featherweights to ever live in MMA, and he thinks that he'd hold his own. Absolute delusional.
Man, I thump Max Holloway chin, man. Don't play at me like that, man. I'm out the city, man. What you talking about, man? I'm built for that.
Oh, that old shout. I hate it when people try and justify how they would win in a fight based on where they're from. Now, I can understand the argument a little bit. If you're from somewhere rough as hell, then yeah, you're going to have the mindset, but that's still not going to make up for the lack of skill against someone who's top tier. You know where I'm from, man. I'm out the city. That don't mean anything. Do you think Max Holloway is going to care about the fact that you're out the city? That ain't going to matter when Max Holloway starts piecing you up, chopping away at the legs, maybe spares you from being completely embarrassed, takes you down and chokes you out, and he doesn't land 3,000 strikes on you over the course of 5 rounds. Come on, Ocho. What are you on about, lad? And they start talking here about using different weapons and cardio being a factor, which kind of ties into the Max Holloway argument a bit.
But also, you got to think about you can't run the whole
I'm
fight.
gonna kick. I can kick.
The more you have to move around, the more you kicking, the more tired you
That's
get.
okay.
Yeah.
So you got to be very strategic.
But Ocho was gassed after 4 rounds of just boxing. So how do you think he would fare in a 5-round MMA fight? 5-minute rounds, having to use all weapons, defend and takedowns, getting rocked, getting your leg chopped at.
But man, Max Holloway.
Hey, before you, yeah. Back this thing on Max again, man. I know Max is probably gonna see this, and I really want to like get your honest opinion on what you just said earlier when we talk about Max Holloway, right? And if him and I were to get in the octagon, you really disrespecting me at thinking I'm gonna get tapped out in 30 seconds.
Ocho is gutted. He actually feels disrespected. He looks disappointed.
I
You
know
think so?
That's a different animal.
Like, no, like you know me. You know my competitive edge, my competitive nature.
And once I see red, it's over, man. I'm from the city.
My willing to try and do anything, as a grown man.
Oh, he's a grown man as well. Okay, so skills and traits that you need to beat Max Holloway. Be from the city, be about that life, have a competitive edge, and be a grown man. Wow, okay, based on that, I think I could also beat Max Holloway. I've got a competitive edge, I'm from the city, I've got the mindset, I see red, and I'm a grown man. So, Max Holloway, I know you're going to see this. Hit me up. Let's have a spar because, we need to put this argument to rest. I'm about that life. I'm just going off Ocho Cinco's logic here. I'm taking him at his word.
Like, think about this. Let's say my kids are standing behind me, right? Wait, let me finish. Let's say my kids are standing behind me and Max Holloway got to get through me to get to my kids. What you think finna happen?
Leave your kids at home. Make it difficult. So make it difficult for him to get him.
That's good. That's good. Ocho's taking it in good spirits. I like it. I like it.
That's what you should do. That's exactly what you should do. Don't do that. Don't do that, Ocho.
That's it for the main part of the interview, talking about Max Holloway. But let's just remind ourselves what Max did against Justin Gaethje. I get chills watching this. Might have to turn the music down a little bit just for copyright reasons. Points to the ground again. Oh, so sick. Look how hype Max is as well, damn. I love watching back the exact moment that he KOs him and watching the crowd, because everyone's like, oh, this is crazy, and then everyone goes even crazier once he gets the knockout. So watch everyone in the crowd. Ah, to be there, man, that would have been insane. And the best boxer in the UFC. Which brings us to this clip as well. Max Holloway goes ultra instinct mode. Nice body shot, acknowledges it, points to the judges. Look at this one. Oh, slip, and then under. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting chills. Max Holloway is that guy. Although he lost to Ilia Topuria the other month, he's still one of the greatest to ever do it. Ilia Topuria is just a beast. So this Ocho Cinco guy, I don't think he was being like super serious. I think he was just being playful with it. But there's probably some people who watch this interview, maybe boxing fans, who probably agree with Ocho Cinco, because they don't really know much about MMA. They just see it as like, oh, every time MMA fighters come over to boxing, they always get knocked out or they always lose. Yeah, the vast majority of them do. But for an MMA fighter to go into a boxing ring and then even just be able to hold their own, that's like pretty impressive, because boxing is only a small part of MMA. Most MMA fighters aren't training boxing like loads. They're doing boxing, they're doing Muay Thai or kickboxing, they're doing BJJ, they're wrestling, then they've got the strength and conditioning program. Then maybe they do some other things like a bit of capoeira or karate or taekwondo, little offshoot disciplines to just add to the game. And even to just make the video about me for a moment, some people say to me, Shaun, Misfits Boxing, are we going to see you in the boxing ring? Like, yeah, I would do it. But even when I was good, when I was younger, I was never that good at boxing. I had an alright fast jab. I was mainly a kicker. So I would literally have to work from the ground up, super bare bone fundamentals within boxing just to be somewhat okay. Ocho Cinco, he's an athletic guy. He can box a little bit, but it's completely delusional thinking that he would be able to take on Max Holloway. Just thought this was an interesting clip to react to, seeing that it's doing the rounds again and I'd never seen it before. You guys comment all your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think. Like this video and subscribe for daily uploads. See you tomorrow.